Hello Stampers and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to show you this beautiful card I made with the Winterly Treetops bundle. Such a cute set. Be great for winter cards or really any time of the year. I have several bird feeders on my back patio and I just love feeding the birds. So this card really kind of spoke to me. So I want to hop right in. And the first thing I want to do is, well, let me stamp the birds first before I start cutting. All right, so I've got 2 scraps of paper here. I'm going to stamp the birds out and cut them. Now you could use the designer series paper for this, but for this card I am stepping it up and I'm going to use a stamp set and the blends and just really make a stunning card. So first I am getting ink. With these bigger ones, bigger stamps, I like to ink them up upside down. So there we go. That one is inked. Now you could fussy cut this out, but if you have a little adhesive there, if you have the dies, you don't need to. So I will show you that in a minute. Here's another little scrap, and I'm going to cut this little bird out. Oops. All right, missed his head, so there you go. Always 2 sides. This time I'm going to be a little more careful. Push straight down and straight up. Wow, I am just not doing a good job here today. It's kind of late, and I guess that's why. Try that again. Nice. Okay. 3rd time is a charm. There we go, my little birdie. All right, now I am ready to cut things out. There is a bit of cutting on this, or with a bit of work with the cutting and embossing machine. See if I can squeeze it in here. That's a little bit better. Remember to move that back when we're done here. All right, so first I'm going to take I think I just covered up my paper. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. I had it all set out to cut out. There we go. Oh my goodness. All right, so this piece of paper is the exact same size as this die, which is, should I know this? Oh, it's 5 by 3.5. So 5 by 3.5. And I'm going to put that there. I'm going to line the die up on there because the inside is getting cut out and you want to line it up perfectly. Now, if you're having a hard time getting this die to cut on your machine, well, first of all, I recommend doing it twice. But if that's still not working for you, you can put a piece of wax paper in between the die and the paper, and that should help it to come out easier. This die is an intricate die and can be a little hard to get out. All right, so there's that. I'm going to go ahead and cut my birds out while I have this here. So there's the birds. And the 2 bird dies, that one, this one. Super cute. I at first glance thought, well, this bird really, not this one, but the big one, looks like a cardinal. But it could also be other birds that look like cardinals. So I Googled birds that look like cardinals and came up with some other birds other than just cardinals. And of course, I don't remember what the name was, but I did try to color these birds similar to those pictures. So that's kind of how I came up with my color scheme. So there's the birds. And then the last thing we need to do is emboss. You use the birch embossing folder. And so for that, we have to change out our plates. This is a 1 and the 4 plate, and in between is the birch. And on that, I'm going to use a piece of cardstock that's 5.5 by 4.25. And we're going to emboss it so the birch goes across the side. So it goes landscape, not portrait. And we want the fold to go towards the mechanism or the roller or whatever it's called. So it goes that way towards the center of the machine. And we're going to run it through. And then we will be done with the machine. So it's a little bit of work cutting and embossing. But this is a step-up card. A little more work, but certainly totally worth it. So let me get this stuff out of the way. And here's this. Very pretty. That will go on a piece of cardstock. That's 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at 4.25. So it will go there like that. That's the background. And in fact, we could even just tape it down and be done with it. I think I'll glue it down. I prefer glue when I emboss. That's a big old bubble. All right, so we can just get that drying. Start working on the rest of the card. There we go. So there's the front. What I didn't show you cutting out was this green because it's the same as this white one. And what I like to do is leave it kind of on the die and pull out the big part. And you want to save this for the next video because I'm going to show you a use for that. But for now, I'm just going to set it aside and take my little poker tool. Use your take a pick tool. Oh, mine's right there, but here, this was closer, so I grabbed it just to kind of get it started. And then you want to just gently peel this off so you're not like yanking the leaves off. And that came off pretty good. I did do some cutting before with wax paper because I did cut a bunch of these out. So it did come out pretty easy, but there it is. All right, so there's that. And behind it, we're going to need one more sheet. So let me grab that. So this will go behind it all. Actually, this will go here. Now, if you notice, if you flip this the other way, this way is right on top, but if you flip it the other way, it gives it kind of a two-dimensional look. So that's what we're going to do. But before we do that, I want to do a little bit of work on this one. And to do that, I'm going to use the garden green and granny apple green pads. Set this aside for a minute. And I want to start with the granny apple green. And what I'm going to do is artistic background. In fact, I'll just set that there. Maybe you can see it. And maybe I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. All right, so granny apple green. And I'm using my blending brush. And I'm just kind of running it in the ink. And I want to just take a little bit of it off on a scrap paper. Then I'm going to do little circles. On that paper. And honestly, it might be easier if I had done this before I cut it out. But I didn't, so here you have it. Okay, I don't want to totally cover it with light green because I want to bring in the darker green, but I do quite a bit of this color, so. But I want to leave some white. Okay, I think that might be good. I don't know. I might come back in. Not memento. Now I want to bring in my garden green. I'll set this aside. And I'm going to do the same thing. I am doing a circular motion, rubbing it off, especially this one is a darker color. And now I just want to do little circles. I already got it on my hand. And I'm going to do some strength, full strength, just because I want kind of to look like there's 3 different colors going on instead of just 2. All right, let's see how we're looking. Yeah, I want to do a little bit on that one. So this is just like totally up to you how it looks. You're the artist here. Ooh, that got dark. I kind of like that. Let's do a little more dark over here. Okay, I am happy. All right, that looks great. The next thing I want to do, this is plastic. I am going to clean it off. The baby wipe, because I need it for other things. It needs to be clean. Fortunately, they don't sell these anymore. It went with the Stamparatus, but it sure makes a nice little foam pad for this sort of thing. You could use a glass mat if you've purchased that yet. I haven't had a chance yet. It is on my list, my wish list, though. All right, so I'm just pulling these little birds out, waiting for this to dry. It doesn't feel totally dry. Grab a paper towel and dry it off better. Okay, so now I want to color my birds, and I want to stamp out the thanks. And to do that, I used Sending Thanks and Much Love, which I believe is in this stamp set, if I can find it. I already set it aside, and now I can't find it. But I'm pretty sure it's in this one. It'll show up here. So here we're going to fussy cut it. I'm stamping the whole thing out, but we're going to fussy cut the thanks out. So you just want to get your paper snips. Of course, I don't see mine. I have to use these old ones that I have. I think they're in my box, my upstairs box, and I'm down in the basement, so these will work. And we're just fussy cutting thanks out because I didn't want that whole sentiment there. All right, next thing to do is to color the birds, which is super fun. There's my thanks. Well, let me close these pads up so I don't do anything like lean into them. Have you ever done that? I sure have. All right, let's move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay, so the birds. I'm gonna start with light. What is this? Is light crumb cake. I'm gonna start with light crumb cake. I have a light gray granite. I think I did crumb cake on that one. Get that little piece of paper out of there. And I'm going to go ahead and do most of the bird in light crumb cake, because I'll come back over with the darker colors. I really wish I'd have written down the name of this bird. All right, you know what? I'm going to do its little breast first, and for that I'm using dark pale papaya, which probably isn't even in the color family anymore. Sorry about that. And I'm going to do his breast area. And kind of a streak under his eye. And a strip up there. All right, that looks good. These alcohol markers are pretty alcohol-y. You notice that? Like some of them just smell more than others. It's like, woo. Definitely can smell this one. Well, mostly the pale papaya one. It really had an odor. All right, let's see. Did I use the dark crumb cake? I did. Okay, great. So I'm going to take, that was light crumb cake. Now I'm going to take the dark crumb cake. I'm going to use the bullet tip and do a strip here above his eye. This. And I'm going to do these guys. So, you know, even if you're not real good at watercoloring, these markers just bring out your inner artist. They make you an artist out of just about anybody. All right, let's see. Let's do his, I'll do that all. Yeah, I want to do that. A little bit more crumb cake up there. Okay. Now, if you want to soften your lines, you can take the crumb cake and the light crumb cake and just go over that area again, and it'll kind of blend in the colors a little. And there, I think that's good. Okay, next bird. That one I decided was a cardinal, and I used the light cherry cobbler for his body. And like I said, to color these, I went online and just looked up birds. Wanted them to look realistic somewhat. And now I'm going to take the dark cherry cobbler and just do those lines. And honestly, I kind of did his whole little belly here. Kind of up here too. All right, so that looks good. I think while I'm at it, this is the dark. I'm going to do inside of those berries. And I've seen other people do these berries in different colors. So you don't have to use red, but I kind of went with my theme, so I did. But, you know, berries, you can have white berries. You could probably Google that too and come up with what, you know, winter berries might look like. Or you can just do them to match your card, which is kind of what I'm doing. But like, you know, there are red berries, holly, obviously, right? You know, it grows in my area here. Well, I don't have any. I should grow some. I do love to grow plants. And like I said, I have 2 bird feeders, and they're on my back patio. I can just sit there at my table and watch them, and I do that a lot. I also have a bird bath that, man, they just love it. They go crazy over my bird bath. I mean, I can have 5 or 6 birds in there, like splashing away. I have to change the water every day because they literally splash it out, even though it holds a gallon, which I think is quite a lot. It also, in the wintertime, it has a heater in it, so it doesn't freeze, which is really fun, so I can enjoy those birds year round. All right, so you know what? I forgot to color his beak. Just noticed, so let me come back and do that. And I think I'll hop over and get this guy too, because I think I used this for his beak. And I also used it for the shading, so I think I'll do that. Because I like to do the dark first and then come back over it with the light. It blends it in better, like I said. So let me do that. Do a little dark in his wings. All right. Yeah, this is a little bit longer video. Okay, this is the light basic black, which is funny. It doesn't really seem all that light, but apparently it is. And go ahead and color his head black. I don't see the dark basic black. Yeah, it's hiding. Is this it? Nope. Oh, there it is. Yay. All right, I want to do his beak in the dark basic black. It's a little bit misleading because, like, look at that lid. It's gray. It's not black. So you would think that that's gray. You have to read the little words. Okay, and you see the dark it is darker. I mean, you can kind of see that. And I'm going to do a little bit of gray granite on his wings. All right, that guy's done. And this one is also gray granite. But let me do the yellow first, which I used Lemon Lolly for. Kind of did his breast area. And a little bit on his wings. And now I'm going to come in with the light gray granite. And do the rest. All right, so like I said, this is not a beginner's card. This is a wow card, and it's gorgeous. So if you want a beginner's card, I do have several one that I already posted for this video. This one's a little more work, but it's totally worth it. All right, now I'm going to bring in my dark pecan pie, and I'm going to do all the wood with the dark pecan pie. I just realized I got to do his little feet, which I think I'll do in the black. Should have done it first because I'm having a hard time. Probably have to come back and color it in. Let's see. This is light. I want to use the dark basic black. How cute is that? All right, that's good enough. Okay, he's done. Just got to do the tree. So, you can use a designer series paper and get a similar looking card. Or you can just go all out like this video and make your own. And that's what I did. There's a little more up there. So, if you're watching a show or something, it's kind of fun to sit there and like stamp out a bunch of these birds and color them. I mean, that's how I would do it. I wouldn't just do one, I'd do several. But I'm not going to do that. Okay, I am ready to assemble this card. Hooray! All right, so I already glued this down. And next I'm going to I put a piece of white cardstock behind it that is 3.5 by 5. And I'm going to glue it, or you could use glue dots if you're not feeling real glue confident. You got to really put a little bit of glue down for this, or it's going to ooze out. Okay, this is not a card you make for 100 people, I'll tell you that right now. This is one you make for people who really appreciate your artwork, for your other stamping friends, or just, artistic friends who will appreciate it. I made some amazing snowman cards once, punch art. I spent hours on them, and I'd sold them at a craft fair, and a friend of mine bought them, and she gave it to her daughter, and her daughter came up to me a couple weeks later and said, "Oh, I just love that card, and so pretty, and she's like, "I had a really hard time throwing it away." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what a waste." Like, you don't want to give your card to somebody like that who just doesn't care, it's just going to throw it away. I'm sure that her house is way cleaner than my house, but seriously, it's crazy. All right, let's find that one that I colored. Hopefully I'm going, yep, I'm not going the right way. All right, let's try this again. Good thing I have more here. Just gotta find it. All right, do you see what I did? I want them to stagger and not be right on top of each other. So I'm gonna save that for another card. I do have several of these made because I was gonna give them to some special friends. So thankfully, let's try that again. There we go. That's how I want it to go. Oh my word. I am not perfect. Maybe you are, but I am not. So I'm going to try that again. As I was gluing it down, I thought, oh gosh, I wonder if I'm going the right way here. And of course I wasn't. So wouldn't you know it? But all is good because I will use that card on a different one. I actually sat and cut most of it out before the video because I'm going to make 5 more. Because if you're going to make, an original design, you want to make several, not just one. Or at least I do. I really should have a glue mat behind me, but I hopefully don't get glue on my background. Though if you do, alcohol will clean it up. Rubbing alcohol, like on a cotton ball or on a piece of paper towel, which actually works better than a cotton ball, to tell you the truth. So yeah. All right, there we go. Let's try this again. Actually, you know what I just realized? I could have used that other one and just rotated it. Okay, well, whatever. I have one more done now, right? This is late night stamping, kind of not always a good thing. Yeah, see, you can go like that, and you go like this, it matches up. So, duh. Okay, sorry about that. So if you make that same mistake, just rotate it. Don't be like me. Where'd my glue go? I can't even find it now. There it is. All right, more glue. Like I said, you could use glue dots for this. Not totally sure if it's faster or not. It would take a lot of glue dots, which is why I'm sticking to glue, getting glue everywhere. But that's, you know, if you're going to be a stamper, you're going to get inky fingers and gluey fingers. That's just how it works. If that bothers you, you probably should not pursue this craft. I mean, I always have baby wipes by my table, but that really doesn't always take off all the glue. Or all the ink. Really doesn't take off the glue. I did get glue on here. Ah, well. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm not even on the video. Let me see if I can move this up. There we go. Trying to line up all my corners. And there we go. And now I'm going to glue it onto there. There. Perfect. Put my bird down. Like that. And I'm going to put this one down here. I'm using a fair amount of glue, more than I usually do, just because there's so many cracks and crevices. On this card. And then I took some twine, which is here, and I didn't even make a bow. I just kind of looped it around. I think I will use a glue dot for this. Sort of looped it around like that. You could literally make a bow. You could do whatever you want. Not even sure why I did it that way. I don't know. I just kind of wanted it to look a little less organized. Oh, here's my glue dots. And then my thanks I put on dimensionals, and I'm going to use the little dimensionals for that. They sell two sizes of white and black dimensionals. Frankly, I've never used the black dimensionals. I guess if you had black paper you were using. And I use black a lot for my pop-up things, so I guess that's why I don't have any, but somebody must, or they wouldn't sell it. Maybe if you're using like just darker colored paper. Okay, I am so sticky right now. Oh my word. All right, and then this thanks is gonna go right there. And there is your wow card. Da 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 da. Isn't it gorgeous? Be sure and like my video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my next videos. I'll do ones that aren't quite this difficult, but you know, sometimes you just got to make a wow card. So have a great day.